I thought defensively we were really good to keep them in the 50s and 38% shooting from the floor. And we played a lot of zone tonight, yet our stances were good, keeping people in front of us. And then I thought, we shared the ball. We had 19 assists and a little too many turnovers, but shared the ball and methodically made the right plays on offense. So maybe we're finding something defensively in the last two.
All right, we'll start off with Tom Noy. Go ahead, Tom.
Mike, how big was it to build on last week's win, number one, and then also do it on the road in the league, which is something you guys have had trouble doing this year?
Yeah, we needed it bad, and you had to wait so long to play. And I give these guys credit; their concentration when it's 8 practices between games instead of 2 or 3, has been pretty good. But a 2-game win streak in our league and to win a road game, no matter who you're playing, you kind of feel a little bit differently. And I think you feel more confident, quite frankly. We've been searching for a little bit of a vibe and a confident body language. And, we had a little bit more of that, in the second half.
What is it about this team to where, you can make that type of lineup change that you did tonight and it's going to be a positive? Because if it goes the other way,
yeah,
this season goes the other direction too.
Well, you got great kids. There's no question, Tom. You have great kids. And simply, we've been into this compete drill and who competes the hardest. And the blue shirts, which started the game, competed harder than the white shirts yesterday. And even though I rotate the jerseys in practice, that group competed harder. And halfway through practice, I said, they're starting. You guys are coming off the bench. And to the credit of the starters, their attitudes were great. Their head was great. And they rooted like heck all day yesterday and today and in the shoot around for the guys that were starting. They were really good at trying to help them be confident and cheering for them those first 4 or 5 minutes. And that's why you love, it's kind of kids we get at Notre Dame, and they were fabulous. So I'm proud of how they handled it.
What's your reaction when you look at the final stat sheet and see 63 bench points?
Yeah, it's a record, right? That's a record. Oh my God. Little did I know we were a record. Yeah. No, I've never seen anything like that. And it's a fun group. They've reacted to coaching them hard and challenging them. And one of the things we said quickly was we get a crack at Virginia Tech, who, they put it on us in the second half. They treated us like the JV in the second half. And so we get another shot at a group of men and athletic guys on Wednesday.
There have been times in your career where you've kind of, I don't want to say threatened, but you've thrown out the starting lineup thing here and there, all spots open. What was it about this game that you said, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm finally going to do it tonight?
Well, I thought our tone of, and again, our tone of better stance, better chest, more attention to detail defensively, more accountability defensively, guarding your guy, not getting beat off the dribble is easy. I thought that started Thursday and Friday in practice before Boston College. I thought we carried that over really well. And then, it became 8 days of demanding it, which is a little bit, probably a little bit of a pain in the backside for our guys. And my feeling was, I got to put my, draw a line in the sand and say, nope, even though you guys are our starters and you played really well against Boston College, we just came off a win. I said, nope, you didn't. And so I think that standard has to stay for our group. And so we'll see who starts Wednesday based on Tuesday's practice and who competes the hardest.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, next up, we'll go to Patrick Ingle.
Mike, what was going through your mind, and what was it like to see you guys put together a good first half to build that lead?
Yeah, I had 22 points at halftime, Patrick, and I thought our defense was great, and we were good in our zone. We were good in zone. We had a little bit of three-quarter court pressure too, to take some clock off, but we were accountable in a stance. We had active hands. We do have some guys that have steal instincts, and when you let them play in an open stance, like in a zone, they get their hands on stuff. God, what did we have? 8 steals, which is, a lot for us. But then, I thought offensively we were in a good rhythm, and I thought Prentice was fabulous. Prentice Prentice may have played his best overall game on last Saturday, and I didn't start him. Yeah, you hope you have great enough relationships with Prentice, Nate, Dane, Jawan, especially, that they'll respond the right way. Sometimes you never know, and you worry about that. But I think I've invested enough over 3 years with my relationship that they're going to respond well, and they did.
All right, we'll go to Tim O'Malley.
Mike, you might have just answered this, but was it Hub that took to that benching best? I mean, I can look at the stats and see the 3 guys that did, of course, but was it Prentice that really responded best and got you guys going?
Yeah, I thought he was pissed off, and again, he played really well Saturday. He was pissed off, talking in our huddles, challenging guys if they got beat, and getting guys in the right position. There was even more of a strong personality, and I hope he continues with that.
Back to Patrick Ingle.
Mike, when you look at how you guys played in that zone tonight, you look at that as something that's kind of a weapon for you going forward, or just kind of a thing you liked given Miami's?
No, I think Patrick. Yeah, no, Patrick. I think it's one of those things where we usually get to it, and tonight when we got to it, it was so good. We just stayed in it. We rotated into man-to-man a couple times, played our 1-3-1 maybe 3 or 4 times, but I think the more we play it together, the zone, the better we'll be moving and talking and rotating. And I thought we got better, adjusting to, what they were trying to do against it.
Tim O'Malley.
And Coach, I don't know if you guys felt game pressure when they cut it to 7 with 4:30 to go, but 3 assisted layups on 3 straight possessions. Is that the response you're looking for when you said methodically you're able to put a team away offensively?
Yeah, and I think it would have been panic on my part if I called timeout. Like, our players knew we had timeouts, and we had the arrow if you got tied up in a trap. And I'm sure Prentice maybe I should have just called a timeout. But you know what? I'm not going to call timeout. We need to work ourselves through it. And I thought we did a great job working through it. We got a little more organized being receivers, and we scored against the press, which is, that helps. We didn't play scared or safe. We went and scored against it. But I just didn't, my assistants were saying call a timeout. I was like, I just don't want to do that. Like, I think we got to tough through this thing.
Final question for Coach. We'll go back to Tom Noy.
Like, just one last thing on the lineup. I think the last time you made such a drastic change might have been Matt Farrell starting against Michigan in the NCAA tournament. And you had kind of a back and forth with your staff when you decided that Matt Farrell was going to start. What were the conversations like when did the staff say, hey, you might want to rethink this?
No, because I yelled it at the top of my lungs at the end of practice that's it. The blue shirts are starting tomorrow, and that's how we're going to play. Shoot 10 free throws. I'll see you on the bus. So there was no debate. That my assistants read the defense well and said, we ain't going to poke back at this one. Now, I second guessed myself a lot on the plane. I had a 3-hour flight going, okay, but we got great kids, and we are trying to kind of set a competition standard, and I'm really proud of them. And you know what? I thought they would really all react well. I'm not surprised that they all handled it like men.
Thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Now, the Matt Farrell, Tom, remember, the Matt Farrell one was a heck of a debate. And then I finally slammed the Marriott suite door and said, that's it. He's starting. And I walked out real quick before any of the staff could debate me. And that worked out pretty good too.